Oh boy, it's the biggest coward in the Wild West. The sheriff is kinda what I would consider the most boring mercenary to play as. I mean, his entire kit is just around his guns. There's not really that much uniqueness to him other than the fact that he kind of plays like every other mercenary in the entire game. I would honestly say that most of the mercenaries in the game are glass cannons, and they all have to be played with extreme caution, because making too many mistakes could result in your loss very quickly than you would expect it to be. Because, again, not all of the mercenaries can just straight up tank thousands of damage like Agent Torture or, Burger Gill. You gotta understand that you're not the powerhouse. You gotta play, safely. And that's just what Sheriff pretty much is about. It's about being a coward. You have to run away as much as possible. Just get a couple of licks in, a few damage, and then just retreat. That's how you play him. That's how you're supposed to play him. Anything more than that would basically just mean you don't know how to play the character and you're axing to lose. Sheriff is a pretty simple character to understand. I think he has one of the worst maps in the game though. I think his map kind of just sucks for both him and the agents, which is really weird because you would think it would be worse for one and then better for the other. But they really the map just sucks in general. I feel like it should get retweaked, but I can only, say so much. So let's get into his abilities. But before we get into his abilities, he has a passive, which is his bulletproof armor. Yes, Sheriff has bulletproof armor. It wears down over time with attacks eventually launching off of him, which the armor, scales with the amount of players and stuff that are in the lobby. And it's very important to make sure you go for headshots, because that way you can, take down the armor as fast as you possibly can, because the armor can be pretty annoying to deal with. And it's not that hard to get rid of. It's pretty easy, just wail on him. And also, Sheriff, unlike the other mercenaries, mostly is just based around his guns. He has a revolver. He has, well, 2 revolvers, and he does about 20 damage per shot, and he has 12 bullets in the magazine each time, and about pretty much infinite ammo. He has 999 ammo, which is pretty nutty. And it's also very important to make sure you always reload the second you run out of, shots, because not reloading in time could end up leading to your downfall. It's very detrimental. Now, this is the most notorious and most useful ability that he has. His run ability, which allows him to begin running extremely fast, and this is mostly used for just getting away and avoiding damage, which is very effective at what it does. It's also very important that when you're playing Sheriff, if you do, immediately use the run button, it's better to just start jumping as much as you can. That way you can get over obstacles a lot. And the second you, finish running, you'll ragdoll, which, by the way, when you're running, you have invincibility to avoid all bits of damage. So when you do ragdoll, it's better to, dash immediately when you ragdoll. That way you can make as much distance as possible, because kind of when it ragdolls you, it'll launch you a little bit, which is pretty good to make some distance. Most of the time when you're playing as this character, you're just looping around the map over and over again. It's kind of tedious and what makes him so boring, but it's whatever. You can only change so much about him, I guess. His other ability, which is items, is a very interesting ability, and one of the ones that are very good for nuking, tons of agents if they're on top of you. It's very good for getting them away from you, at least. He will then throw a bunch of randomized grenades and shoot at them. It's also very important to note that you can only use this ability if your gun is reloaded. If it doesn't have any ammo in the clip, then it will not shoot. So yeah, make sure your guns are always reloaded in order for you to use this ability. And then his last ability, which is one of the ones that arguably make him such a strong, character, even though he's still pretty boring, his aimbots. Basically, it allows for him to do tricks and stuff for about 6 seconds. Obviously, he's anticipating an attack, that's why he's doing that, right? And when he's done, he'll lock onto an enemy and fire all his bullets in the magazine. It auto fires for you, so you don't have to shoot yourself. So yeah, it'll auto lock on and basically just drill whoever you're shooting, as long as they're facing in his general direction, so that way he can, actually lock on efficiently. It's a pretty strong ability and very good for taking out, half mags or gunners more quickly. And it's just really good for drilling enemies in general. It's very, very good ability. But yeah, that's all his abilities, and I think he's not hard to play. He's just very underpowered, just kind of in the same boat as MC2 Tricky, but I think he's somewhat stronger than MC2 Tricky. It's not by the longest shot, I just think he's a little bit stronger considering how his kit works, which means his kit gives him a lot more leeway so that way he can get away faster, and he has auto aim, which means he can hit his attacks more effectively, because usually he struggles with, if you can't aim, right? If you can't aim, then you're gonna struggle as his character a lot. But with his aimbot, it kind of compensates for that, so you can just keep running away, then use aimbot, keep running away over and over again, which is a pretty boring way to play, but it's a pretty good way to, you know, win, obviously. I just think he's not as fun. And he is pretty easy to counter as you just rush him. If you just rush him, then, you know, he can't really do anything. And if he starts doing tricks with his aimbot, you can just listen for when he's doing tricks, so that way you can run away to prevent yourself from getting drilled from that aimbot. It's not that hard to play, and even his, you know, items ability is pretty easy to dodge, as you can pretty much just see when he shoots them out. It's not hard at all. I just wish he was a little bit more fun to play as, which is why I don't really see that many sheriffs. I understand why now. But yeah, other than that, I think he's whatever. I would say he's in a pretty comfortable C tier. I think he's in a higher C tier than Tricky. I put him above Tricky, like MC2 Tricky, but I still think he's pretty low, like under Burger Gill. I just wish he could be better, you know. I really do think this character has some decent potential, because he's very strong in some aspects if you play him effectively, but most of the time, if he's going up against a really good team, you can't really do anything. You just get bamboozled, which sucks. So yeah, that's my rating on him, and yeah, thanks for watching.